Hello, hello. How is it going? It's the weekend, and it seems like it's been a bit of a week. I actually feel a little bit sleepy today, if anything. I don't know. You know, I was thinking, actually, maybe I will discuss the new character a bit. I don't know if that's something people are interested in. If they would want me to, I don't know, put it on the screen or open up a tab and just like scroll through everything that I'm doing, but I figured the new character would be worth discussing. Also, can I just say, this is completely unrelated by the way, but I really do not like those single-use plastic lids or whatever it is, those caps. Oh my gosh. They are so annoying. I mean, either you remove it so that you can drink from the bottle, or you leave it on and can't drink from the bottle. It's like they force you to pour out whatever liquid it's in. But at that point, I may as well just have it in a different bottle because that's a waste of a bottle. I'm not going to use that bottle then. I don't know. It's so silly. Even I organize my garbage and everything, and still I have to use this. So, I don't know, maybe people were losing the lids or the caps, but I feel like I'm being punished for it. I don't know. Maybe just don't do that. That would be pretty awesome, I think. Yeah. I'm just booting up the game in the meanwhile. How is everyone? Having a nice weekend? I hope so. Weekend has been pretty good so far. Sleeping in, feeling a little bit tired, doing all of the same old, playing my gacha games, and excuse me. And now thinking of it, Nikke has got its solo raid going on, but I can barely be bothered to do it. I don't know, the frame and everything looks kind of cool, but I don't know how much effort I want to put into doing something like the Nikke solo raid, you know? It just feels like it's gonna take so much of my time, and do I make an attempt today? Do I do that? Blah, blah, blah. Setting up a whole team and everything. I don't know, I'm not a big spender or anything, or I don't even spend money on my gacha games, so having to invest that much time and effort to get a good run on Nikke, it's difficult to want to spend time on that. But I think, oh, let me unmute the game actually, then maybe you can hear it? Okay, and then we'll swap screen. You know, I was prepping everything. Oh, and I can turn off the music now. I was prepping everything in the background, and you know when you think you've got everything ready, but then just don't? That's what it was for me. I booted up the game, even swapped OBS to everything at the same time, and I already or always forgot to swap over the audio or unmute the audio. But today, it's a good question as to whether or not we play more of the Chaos system. In fact, I think I have like a whole bunch of upgrades that I can invest in because I've been playing a little bit by myself. But going into the upgrades, I've got most of the stuff in here already. So I've nearly maxed out basically all of this. The Senectus one, I'm not too concerned about. I don't need to get this decreased stress by 10. It's not essential. I feel like I should go for greed signal detection as my next upgrade. But the self-repair routine isn't half bad either, just because I know that once I get to some of the bosses, those are going to be pretty difficult, so I think I'll do greed signal detection, and then I can, you know, get some more equipment. That leaves me with 139. Question is, do I bother going with this? Maybe not. Maybe not. Like, going for something more reliable seems better, and because you can have your max HP decreased, even though this is quite a bit, I think going for increased defense is actually better, and then increased attack, because what happens during some of the later chaos manifestations is that they'll always decrease your max HP, but they'll never decrease any of your attack. So I think that's probably better, right? Oh, that reminds me. I need to use up my loot certification card. And I wanted to kind of show off some of the builds I had going on. So, recently, save data, I made this one, which isn't half bad. This, I mean, couldn't have gotten a better reforge. Increased damage amount of exhaust cards by 25%, and then on-card retainer exhaust, fixed damage to a random enemy when an upgrade card. This one was probably the only bad roll, and I feel like maybe the items I got weren't as good. I definitely didn't get a lot of Divine Epiphanies either, but this was a really good deck just overall. Oh my gosh, the perpetual cold is hitting me again. So maybe what I do is I play some more of this season. And then I'll be talking at the same time just about anything, whatever, whenever, you know? And hopefully that's entertaining enough. I'm also curious about the next season, or at least the next chapter. I really want to know what happens in 3 days, 8 hours, we'll find out. So one of these days. I still have yet to do any of the Nebula Distortion, mostly because I don't know, it's kind of like getting the highest possible score, and you know, it's infinite time sinks that are my biggest enemy. So those will always sap a ridiculous amount of my time. I'm thinking, however, that because I'm still looking to build kits, I'm of course going to build 9 again, I think. So we'll build 9. I'm thinking we build Magna. I was contemplating, oh, maybe Haru, but for this season, Haru doesn't entirely work out. So I'm not 100% sure there. Then we've got Ray. And I need to double check now, I was contemplating building a better deck for Ray, because I did get some really good ones. I still got them in the Epione Center. I'm really grateful now that they're stuck within the Epione Center so that I don't have to worry about it. But, for instance, this one I thought turned out quite good because of the Spore Harvest, because of the 2 snack times that increase morale. Like, basically, all of these are meant to try and maximize on damage, but unfortunately, I used up too many points because my Spore Harvest got a Divine Epiphany, and I think I must have converted the cards and then removed, because what ended up happening was I ended up being at 150 points already. Every single one of my default cards, okay, I'm also missing an Epiphany on a Predator's Blade, so that's kind of why I wanted to try playing it again. So I think maybe I'll make a build for Ray, and then I'll make a build for Magna. Oh my gosh, it's, yeah, we're gonna reroll. I want this to be enabled. I don't want the shuffle, this discard one, because that one's going to sabotage my runs. I do think a tier 12 is probably what I'm going for. Not that one. Credits gained? Might be okay. Might be. Cannot rest in safe zones? Okay, that's not half bad. I can work with that, I think. Yeah. I think this will work. And then we can go with this as my run, and then we'll just do one of these. So, I figure, since this is my... And I don't know if anyone caught it, but the stream name is a reference to Jack Garland from Final Fantasy, where he says, well, what the title says, "My mission is to kill chaos, that's all I know." So, I thought it was quite silly, because anytime I think of Chaos Era Nightmare, it leads my mind to think of Jack Garland. But, you know, we've got our starting epiphanies here, we've got Magna. I think we go for the season equipment. That's probably going to be the better one, and then I can throw that onto either 9 or Ray. Now, I do kind of want to get some of the monster cards, but some of them aren't as good as others, obviously. But I also want it to fill out my collection. So we'll probably go up and then down here, and then we'll continue over to here, grab this portal. It depends a little bit if I want to try go for the harder one, just so that I can get more mats, but I think going for this one, and that at least puts me through 3 stores. So it's not half bad. So that's 3 card removals. Sorry, I don't know why, but I feel really sleepy today. We'll see how long I stream. But speaking of that like reusable cap from earlier, I've been trying to think of ways that I can not eat less per se, but so that I can feel more full. And I ended up just drinking like an entire liter of tea in one go, and my gosh, my tummy feels so full. I've got a big full tummy of tea, and it's making me feel sleepy. I feel like a fat cat, if I'm being honest. I feel like a really fat cat, just wanting to fall asleep after having had tea. So also, I'm now thinking of it, you can't get divine interventions for the seasonal content. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but I kind of wanted to play the divine interventions on the Crimson Lumen. Ignition Exhaust. Oh, if this card is in hand and the card is exhausted. You know, I feel like that was intended for Magna, but it just doesn't really work out for me. And we'll do some rerolls. I think the reset is in about an hour or something as well, so it's not half bad. But I feel like a fat cat right now because of the tea in my belly and because of the cap annoying me. I just wish that it's you could remove the cap with no consequence. And I feel like this card, the one that I got just now, Dark Condensation, my gosh, that's such a difficult card to build because you want the upgrade version, but at the same time you don't. Oh, Nutrient Absorption is actually quite good. I could do, for each cost of that card, decrease the cost of a random card in hand by 1 for 1 turn. That's really good. I think I want to put this on Ray, and then I can obviously pair her with 9, and then that reduces the cost of my cards a whole lot, so I can use a bunch of extra cards. I don't remember this elite card being that good, actually. Let's, oh, wait, I can do... Ice Wall would have been good, but I don't need it right now. Let's do Dark Condensation, see what I get for the Epiphany card. And I get Predator's Blade, which doesn't really help. Then I want to increase the damage, so I'll increase the damage of Predator's Blade. And we'll try get rid of this one. At least, whenever I think of this fight, it always reminds me of those 3 pillar ones. I'm very certain that was inspired by Slay the Spire. Because this is the... I think, not identical, obviously it's a different enemy, blah blah blah, different design and so on, but they are very similar to some of the enemies that you get to see in Slay the Spire because they've got this 3 formation, it's also an elite, they also add 2 cards per turn or whatever, but they don't add extra cards to your hand. So that's the one difference. Also, we're going to try Exhaust Hue here, and that'll give me like a free use. Welcome, Wilson Wiz, how's it going? How's it going? Just talking about some of the runs here. I thought, wait, maybe I misread that card. Where's my exhaust pile? If I go here and I check exhausts, it should have been select and exhaust 1 card in hand. For each cost of that card, decrease the cost of 1 random card in hand by 1 for 1 turn. I exhausted Hue, and it only reduced the cost of my card by 1. Shouldn't it have exhausted a random card in, or 3 random cards? Or is it only selective to 1? Maybe I'm misinterpreting it. It could be. I would have to practice my Yu-Gi-Oh! Lawyering skills in order to remember what this was doing. But I think if it hits a card with a higher cost, that it would have reduced it to 0. But I could be wrong. It is a little bit unfortunate. Oh, I see. You're using the same team as me? Yeah, I've been playing with this one for so many times. Going to counter 2. Not this time, I think. I've been trying to make good counter builds for Magna, but I'm really trying to get a good build on Ray. So I'm focusing on getting all of her epiphanies first, and then I'll maybe try and make a counter build. It's definitely better for the second Nebula distortion, that's for sure. But just for this run, I'm focusing entirely on getting Ray as many exhaust cards as possible, as well as the Spore Propagation one. So this one I added now, I think is only increased by 20, right? Yeah. And then I want to try get as many of the Spore Propagation ones as I can. But what would be a good deck for Ray and Magna? Putting them together is a little bit difficult. Even though I'm running it right now, I'm just confident in that I can do it for this Chaos run. But the first thing that comes to mind is attempting to get more counter stacks via Ray and via Magna, so that with 9 you can get the Epiphany on one of her cards that for each ally that has a counter attack, you can... you deal 80% more damage, I think that was. So I think that would be good. You can also get the Torch or whatever that adds 2 mark to a random enemy at the beginning of the turn with Ray, and then you can add healing every single turn by just attacking that monster. So that's pretty good. Is it the best though? I don't know. There's a lot of various builds that you can go for, I mean, obviously. So it's kind of hard to say at this point, but I'm trying to make a Spore Propagation deck with Ray, because she can get a whole lot of benefits off of just being a full exhaust character. Oh, increase heal amount by 25%. I kind of think that's worth it. I want her to be a healer, but I also want her to deal a whole bunch of, or at least aid in dealing a whole bunch of damage, so maybe I can get some divine reforging done on some of her equipment. It is a little bit difficult to try and guarantee. I feel like they must have added all of the rerolls and what's it called? Like rerolls and guarantees per se of using certain cards, like for instance whenever you go to a campfire then reselecting an epiphany, or getting the upgrade that whenever you select a character that you can choose whoever you want to duplicate the card of. I think that was added because, man, there are a lot more variables with this season of just randomness for what items you can get. Okay, for this one I'm gonna get 2 turns. 2 turns hitting all enemies is pretty good. I think that's why they added it, but just for the amount of conditional cards in the arena equipment as well as the reforging, it makes it really difficult. I think we're going to try remove a card, and I want to get rid of Ray's healing. I know that's maybe not the best if I were going for a passive build, like whenever you get those arena equipment for not attacking that turn, you generate a certain card, but I think it's kind of worth it anyway to go for the plus 20% heal on attack. Time regulator, oh gosh, I wanted to add this to Ray, but we'll do this on 9. Okay, not Fighting Spirit, but that's okay, that's okay. We can, I don't really like this set. This set feels a little bit underpowered. Critical chance for cards that cost 2 or more. It could be good for 9, but it's a 4 set. If it were a 2 set, I could see myself using it, but the 4 set for 9 was made for her. There's not much point. I don't know what elite enemy this is. Is it worth doing that over going to the camp? I kind of think maybe I'll just do this instead. World Tree, okay. Can I get Phototype Synthetic? When shield is gained, increase damage amount of the next one attack card by 20% for 1 turn 2 times per turn. I kind of want to do Sacred Epiphany. I'm going to try get it on Ray, but I'm worried it's going to hit like at least one of the 4 cards or one of the 3 cards. I mean, it is a higher chance to get it on Ray because she has more of her epiphanies, so we'll probably do that. This one just isn't good right now because I'm trying to build Rei, and she doesn't really have any shield generation except for the other armor piece she has. But, oh, and of course we get it on Counterblade. When the card is exhausted, Morale Resolve. Okay, that's not half bad. It's also just not what I wanted, but it's okay. Maybe we can remove some more of her cards, however. Let's try get rid of... Oh. Honestly, Dark Condensation is such a difficult card to build with 9 because you try to buff any one of her cards and it's only for the one turn. The only way it becomes useful is if you can either get the Divine Epiphany to make it cost 0, or you get the upgrade card, maybe, but then whenever you build an auto build, the Fighting Spirit will exhaust all of 9's attack cards except Hugh anyway. So Dark Condensation doesn't really do much. Like, it could be redeemed with a Divine Epiphany, but I don't think it's worth it. I think it might actually be a waste card. I'm going to get rid of Dark Blade for now because I have slight faith that I can get a Divine Epiphany on it. But maybe, and honestly I should have had more money by this point, that I could have gotten Rei to have some kind of weapon. Let's see. I think attack isn't half bad. Let's see. If I were to duplicate, so she's on 60 now because I've removed 2 cards, yeah, and then I've added 1 neutral. If I were to add attack, that would put her at 80, and I've got a maximum cap of 140. So, with 60 points left, I'd be able to remove at least 1 more card and then get Divine Epiphanies on 2. I don't know if that's worth it. I kind of want the attack card, only because it allows me to make more consistent draws or thin out my deck for a turn where I have 0 AP. It's just a really good card in general, plus you can always Epiphany it to get morale, but... is it worth it? I don't know. Nutrient Absorption is probably going to stay in the deck the entire time. Obsidian Sword could be good for more healing. It is on sale. You know, it is on sale. Choose 1 attack card from the draw pile. It's also just so versatile. Like, I could use it for Magna. Yeah, you know what? We'll add it. I don't think it should be an issue. And then we'll do Training, and I'm kind of... Oh, Sadism is pretty good. Maybe wait, can I add this to Magna? Yeah, and then I want to be able to get the Prism, I think it was called, to activate a lead card in hand every single turn, so that way I can try and trigger vulnerability once per... or, well, not once per turn, but once every now and then when I draw the card. Hello, Kaya! Welcome, welcome. Is your internet good enough today to watch the stream? That I'm surprised by. Oh, only audio but here. Yeah, fair enough. Today is mostly a talking about, and I am narrating the game, so I suppose you can follow along regardless. But yeah, even if it's not related to the game, feel free to just talk about whatever. Maybe I should do, I am listening, not watching. Exactly. And, I don't know if I should draw into a card here. They're only going to do 1 attack, so I could do 1 Frost Shield and then maybe go for another attack. I've got Fatal Strike. I think we'll do Predator's Blade. We'll do Frost Shield, Predator's Blade, and then Fatal Strike into this one. And that's a decent amount of damage. So comparing this build that I'm trying to go for Rei as compared to the one that I did before, this one, I'm not sure if I'm going for more exhausts or not. Because the last one did have exhausts on it, for sure. But the issue previously was that some of my Divine Epiphanies made my deck cost too much, and therefore I went over the faint memory limit, made my decks cost too much, and it added back some of my basic cards, which I did not like. Counterblade has got a Brainstorm, Green Needle on it. So we can do Fighting Spirit. Hopefully that gets rid of the abnormal one. Yeah, there we go. So now it should hopefully remove the Curiosity that it keeps applying to me every turn. And then we can do Dark Condensation. I think I'll use it on Experience Strike for the extra damage, which generates more shield. And then... I don't know, I don't... Oh, okay, maybe I will crit. And I didn't get it. 32 HP. Just barely enough. And then Ray's gonna go into mental breakdown. But, you know, anytime Ray goes into mental breakdown, I can't help but notice her eyes, especially with this animation here. She's got really pretty eyes. I really like the design of it, the diamond shape and everything. It kind of reminds me of Francesca from Fate Strange Fake, though she doesn't have diamond eyes. It's just the white outlines of it. I can't wait to watch that series, by the way. I've been looking forward to it so much. And the reason why I've not watched it yet is because I'm waiting so that I can binge it and sit down and just like get a tub of ice cream or something, watch all of it in one go. I've been listening to the soundtrack non-stop. Do you think you'll collab with other VTubers? That is a hard question. Mainly because I don't know. Like, I would want to. That would be pretty cool too. But trying to pick out both the game and what to play is, I think, the biggest difficulty of it. So if it comes to that, yeah, for sure, I would. But I don't know. It really depends. Character goes into stress. You have good eyes. Okay. Yeah, but it's true. I pay a lot of attention to the eyes and everything of characters. It reminds me of like when you're in the English class and the teacher always tells you, oh yes, these characters' eyes, they mean something particular to how they feel in that moment, and it's meant to be defining their personality and everything like that, you know? It's whenever they talk about how the curtains are red and it's meant to display that they're, I don't know, in some kind of anger, like they're a bull about to crash into a china shop, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I think it's a fun detail. I think a lot of people pay attention to the eyes, and I certainly do as well. No, don't be that person. I mean, I may be hypocritical, but I am that kind of person. I'm the English teacher. I like paying attention to really small details that really probably do not matter whatsoever. So I'm A-okay with that. It's just how I am. Am I seriously going to take that much damage? And this is the thing as well with my 9 build, is that with this partner, it kind of, I don't know, +2 morale, 1 fortitude, it's not that good. I would rather have the one that allows me to draw into one of my cards. It's so over, it's not over. It's not Jover. Please, you've got to believe me. And then we'll go for morale. We'll do counterblade. Oh, I need to draw 1 card. We can probably do glacial iron fist here, and then we can do counterblade, and that gives me +1. Then we'll knock the sense out of this guy. Can we get the AoE one? No. No, I can't. I'll do increase action count. That's a little bit sucky. We'll also use resonating darkness. But I feel like I am the English teacher. Even when I'm reading just regular novels, I'm always thinking of, like, the implications of why certain characters will do things. Not that I'm always reading into every single thing that they're doing, but I am also reading into every single thing that they're doing. It really depends, honestly. It really depends on which character, because even if I am reading into what a character is saying or doing, I usually never give myself time to think or contemplate why it is they're doing what they're doing. So, for instance, if it's an analysis of a character, I could probably do that. But if it's more of a, oh, can you predict what this character is going to do next? Probably not. No, probably because I'm more focused on reading it than I am doing anything or contemplating what they'll be doing next. Also, my game is lagging a bit. Oh, it's because Nikke is open in the background. Whoops. You should have become a literature teacher instead of a wizard. Unfortunately, I'm not that well versed with literature either way, and forcing me to read literature is asking me to read more light novels to that extent. And speaking of, I was thinking of talking about this, but create 1 heavy blow. Okay, we'll do that for Magna. Speaking of that, we're all playing Nikke? Yeah, we're all playing Nikke. I love Nikke. The music is especially good. It's so difficult. When drawing an exhaust card to this unit by an ally ability, immediately activates 1 time per turn. If damage to the card was not dealt to an enemy for 1 turn, at the start of the next turn, increase. No, none of these are really that good. I can probably do this one, and then I can draw. I'm drawing an exhaust card of this unit through an ally ability. You read wrong sometimes. I know, I shorten it in my head so that it's faster to say. I just finished doing my dailies on Nikke. Yeah. I've been thinking about the solo raid, and I don't know. I don't know if I want to put a whole lot of effort into it. I still need to do or commit at least one run, but am I going to aim for the top 3%? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I've been super consistent with getting into top 3% every single time, except when it comes to certain holidays, but mainly because I'm just so busy. But I don't know if I want to aim for top 3% for this one. The frame does look pretty cool, though, and it is a bragging right, I suppose. Maybe I owe it to my union to continue to compete like that. Do you think you'll ever stream Nikke? No, probably not. I will very likely never stream Nikke. I don't really want my account to be shown. I don't want people to see how much time I spend or invest in it and then find my account. So, probably not. But I will talk about it. I do like Nikke, so I will continue to. Why? Well, I just gave my explanation why. I'm not going to show off my account because I know I'll be judged for it. So, yeah. Plus, I don't want people to know which union I'm a part of. And that would be my concern. If I'm getting rid of a card, would I get rid of Dark Condensation? Probably. Yeah, the delay. I get that. I really want to use Forgotten Grave. Forgotten Grave seems like a really cool card, but I need to find a character that I can actually put it on. Right now, it looks like you can only add it to Sereniel, but I think the next or the new character is meant to be a hunter or a, was it gunslinger? I don't know. I forget what it's called, but maybe. Yeah, shouldn't I remove a card? That's what I'm thinking as well, but I want to save up money, and since I'm building an entire deck for Ray, I want to save money so that I can continue to use meditation. So, I know that I'm not using it now, obviously, but oh gosh, Reorganize is also kind of good. Just drawing 3 cards, but then I could also get Dark Lumen. I think if I get... Man, I can't decide. I think I'm going to try aim for an exhaust. So I'm going to try get Dark Lumen if I can. And then I can exhaust to draw 3, then to draw 2. Obtain 1 among 10 random neutral cards. Or convert common card into random rare legendary card. Ooh, but actually, at the start of the turn, if health is 30% or less, gain 1 evade. Actually, that might be pretty good. Let's try that. I mean, this is... No, I add... Oh, woe is me. It is better. Whatever, we'll swap it out. You know what? This run is not going as I thought it would. As soon as I beat this boss, I'm going to rerun this whole chaos intervention. Also, one with all? Wait, select and activate 1 cards in hand, draw pile or discard pile for 1 turn when each damage, shield, and heal has been activated through cards remove unusable. That one's not half bad. It is a finale though. Select and activate any card, basically. And then end turn. Well, Magna gains shield at the beginning of the turn. No, because... And this is what I'm not sure about whenever it describes this card. For 1 turn, when each of damage, shield, and heal has been activated through cards, is what I'm uncertain of. Does that implicate that if a card both heals and damages, that it will still trigger this? Because if so, then 9 can qualify 2 of these conditions, and then Ray can also qualify 2 of these conditions with their cards. I'm going to add it because I don't know, and because I'm going to test it. I know that I'm going to end this run right after this, I think. And then I'm going to redo it because I wanted to get a Spore Propagation deck, or at least get Dark Lumen within the first layer. But if I can test it out now, I need this. Yeah, for the sake of testing, exactly. I just need to figure out if this actually works how I think it does, because otherwise that's going to be a waste of faint memory, and I'm not enthused about wasting faint memory, because even when you add a card and then you remove it, the added value of the card still stays. So why do that? You know? Okay. Nutrient absorption is going to add what now? It's going to add snack time. Okay, and then we'll exhaust hue, and then we've got resonating darkness, which we can also get an epiphany from. We could reduce it to 0, and then for one turn, 80% damage amount of attack cards, or cards of cost 1, or we can just do 40% to everything, and that might be good as well. Either one of these is pretty good, just because upgrade thins it out. But I'm not keeping this deck, whatever. We can activate this one, and then I don't have to see this card again. And, of course, she goes into stress. Sure. We'll do Predator Blade, we'll do Snack Time, and I will have to exhaust Hue here unless I draw... Okay, no, I'm not going to draw another card until this, and then we'll just do Strike. And, unfortunately, I didn't get one for all. Or one with all. Whoops. I was thinking of the MHA character. Let's activate some of these. Thanks for the Screaming Magna. We'll... In my mind, I think 0 is always better. 0... Yeah, maybe. So the issue, and one of the reasons why I always go with card removal and not card zeroing, is because I'm so used to Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you attempt to thin out your deck as much as possible, and I'm used to this in Slay the Spire as well, because the only way that you get through some of the higher Ascensions is by having a really, really small deck and not drawing the same card multiple times, essentially. That Scream is really good. That's what I'm saying. It is crazy how good the VAs are with doing some of the Screams. Magna's Screams sound so freakishly realistic, like genuinely. Magna is like screaming for her life. It's really talented, if anything. It's agonizing screams. So Predator's Blade, maybe. Okay, I'm going to use Predator's Blade. Wait, no. Let's do Dark Blade, because it lists specifically healing on the card, and I think that qualifies. Though then again, I don't have one with all in my hand, so whatever. We'll do this, and honestly, we'll... Wait, how much HP? Okay, it's a difference of 200, so that's probably fine. And then we'll activate this as well. There we go. Unfortunate that I haven't got it. They really did put their soul into the characters. They did really put in all of the screaming into the characters, indeed, yeah. Okay, if this works, let's try draw one card. We'll use this Ego Manifestation. We'll then attack. This does heal based on skills. And then, let's see. We need to do damage, shield, and heal. So heal wasn't explicitly listed, but then we do Ice Wall. Has that triggered it? No. Okay, so a card probably needs to explicitly list it for one with all to activate, which is not good. That really limits the amount of effectiveness it can have. Okay, so we'll do Fighting Spirit, and then we'll do Frost Shield. I mean, I think you need a really thin deck in order to do that, then. Okay. Let's do... Well, is he going to attack? No. So then I'll do Frozen Fist, and I'll deal some damage and gain counter attack anyway. And... for this one, can I please draw... Also, is Nikkei just, like, destroying my FPS in the background? Yeah, get rid of this. Sorry, I'm just closing it now. What on earth is it? You know, maybe I need to contemplate closing some of my tabs as well. Sorry. I'm really not a professional streamer at this rate. Hue into +1 gain Fatal Strike, maybe? We could do Back Edge Parry. You know what? Let's do Ray. Then we'll trigger that. Use Dark Condensation. Use Hue. Then get to trigger one more. I think is probably the play. It really doesn't matter. I'm guaranteed to win, or I'm just overly confident. I only have 3 stacks of counterattack, but that should be fine. We'll attack with this, and then he's going to go into healing, I think? Or does he do a weaker attack whenever I do that? Okay, it's just a weaker attack. Then I can add Fortitude and heal a little bit. And no, yeah, Fortitude was the one that reduces damage taken by 20%, right? I forget between that and Resilience, I think it was called. So attack there, technically that heals, then we add shield, then we can do Predator Blade, and then we can do Dark Blade for some extra healing. And so then he's gonna do his big attack. Okay. It's a little bit weird whenever the indicator shows that it's going to deal more damage than it actually does. And we can do Fighting Spirit here, and that should be a critical hit? No, it shouldn't. Or it would have been a vulnerable hit, I suppose. There we go, reduce the amount of damage, gain a bit of shield, do Frozen Fist. Unfortunate that I wasn't able to try out using One with All. Here we go. So I can do... Okay, now I've actually got attack in hand. Let's use Dark Blade, because this lists healing on it. Then... Oh gosh, am I just gonna die? Let's activate this. I don't want to die just yet. I want to try trigger this. So we'll use Dark Blade. Then we'll use... for one turn when each a damage, shield, and heal. That should have been heal and damage. And then we use shield. No. Okay, it doesn't work. You have to use a heal card in that case. That's... I don't know, that's really limiting. I know I'm on low HP, but Magnum's going to counterattack now, so it's fine. There we go. There's the boss. Okay, One with All is really, really strict. That's not too good. Oh, a Divine Epiphany? What's this on? Sadism. Damage reduction and reduce the cost of this card by 1. That doesn't help. I mean, I activate a lead card at the start of every single turn, so that doesn't matter. We can do counterattack, maybe. Maybe? I mean, damage reduction is good, and if there are more than one, then yeah, maybe. But Fortitude is just a flat 40% damage reduction anyway. Whatever. We'll duplicate a card or raise, and then we'll do Snack Time, I think. Snack Time is pretty good. And then we can do whatever. I think I've got every single one of these items, so I'm not finding a new one anyway. Continue, and then do I want to get any one of these? Nope. So then we'll do a temporary return, and we'll retry this run. Unfortunate that One for All is that over or underpowered. I mean, that does kind of change how I have to build my my deck. Maybe I get rid of one of the attacks and just save the heal in that case. That could be okay, but that does mean that I have to play basically Magna 9 and Ray in order to be able to use it, or someone that can apply shield. Maybe Haru, but I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, also, sorry about this. I need to use the bathroom, so I'll quickly BRB for a moment. I'm gonna throw this on the idle screen. Give me a second. Hello, hello. I'm back again. Sorry. I was like a fat cat and I drank, what, 2 liters of tea or something? So, man, I've drank so much tea that I just had to take a bit of a pause there. And we'll get right back into this then, I suppose. I think the cannot rest in safe zones thing is probably fine. We could, and now, yeah, I am still going to build Ray, I think. I still think I'm going to build Reyes. So, doing dailies in Dragon's Traveler before I go farm in CZN. I've never heard of Dragon's Traveler before. Is that another gacha game? Random combatant gains 1 epiphany. Ooh, that's not half bad. Please, Ray? Nope. Was on Magna. I really, really want to get Ray to have all of her epiphanies, and then maybe epiphanies on some of her neutral cards, but I don't know. Snack time, probably one of the better first ones to get. Seeing the cards and equipment in the Delang shop will always be 30% discount. Increase the chance for season cards to appear in training by 50%. Ooh, or 10 credits per new area. There are 31, I think, stages, so that would only be 310 gold. So I actually think training to introduce new cards is better, or the dream one for discounts. Yep, released last month. Oh, really? I've never heard of it. I've been waiting on this other one called Neverness to Everness. It's got a Steins Gate reference in it as well, which was kind of funny. What's Dragon's Traveler about? Is it like a fantasy one? I'm guessing by the name it must be fantasy, right? But like there are very seldom times settings that aren't fantasy per se with dragons in it. I guess that is the most fantastical thing about it. Maybe I go to the bottom, or do I go up? I kind of want to hit both of the elite areas. Yup, fantasy, idle. I feel like whenever I think of idle games, now gacha games have kind of become like idle games. Am I wrong in thinking that? I feel like a lot of gacha games are somewhat like idle games. You always build up resources slowly and accumulate them through like multiple days to weeks to months of effort, and only then do you really get to post-game per se. Like, yes, they're not traditionally idle, but you do have the whole stamina system, but at the same time, some of them, like, are quite literally built to be idle games. I don't know. A selected combatant gains an epiphany 1 time or heal amount. I think heal amount is always going to be what I'm going for here. It is a bit iffy though, because do I need healing amounts on Ray? Maybe I should just have gone for more cards and such. Like epiphanies and what else? Epiphanies and divine epiphanies are probably more important than the actual card ends up being. So you're definitely not wrong. Yeah, exactly. I like to think of myself as a little bit of a thinker. I think, and for that reason I do think, therefore I am. But idle games have shifted from being solely idle games to being live service games as well as gachas, and gachas have kind of taken on the identity of also introducing idle game elements because they saw that it was popular, or it is popular. So, by the way, how does the snack time card work? Snack time allows you to select any one of your cards and then exhaust it, and once exhausted, it heals and then draws. One thing that's never mentioned as a bit of a tip for all of your cards is that everything in the card is sequential by the list, or by which position it's listed in. So choose 1 card to exhaust, always the first, then heal, then draw. So you will never be affected by anything at the end of the sequence to it, and that's why cards like Vulnerability will be lead, then they will be apply vulnerability, then reduce a cost of a card by an attack card by 1. So you're such a thinker for that. I know, right? And you, Kaya, are such a stinker. So this makes sense. Is it good to use it on Hugh? It's pretty good to use it on Hugh. I would say that it's maybe... I don't know if it's the best, but if you get other neutral cards, and this is why I go for Dark Lumen, is because Dark Lumen allows you to draw 3 cards whenever it is triggered. So, we're not starting that today. Go play your card game, gambler. I think we are starting that today, stinker. Should I go for shield? Oh gosh. Hugh Ambush is really good. I say we go for it. I say we go for it. Then we'll try to pull some more counterattack cards, and then we'll see how that goes. So, yeah, snack time. You basically use it on Hugh. You can either use it on Ambush or whatever. And then you can do... Okay, actually, I've got 2 cards here that are going to Epiphany. So we'll use both of these. I just want to get rid of as many of these Epiphanies as I can so that I can get into upgrading Raise cards. And then we've got Dark Condensation. I think the one good thing about Dark Condensation and the Ambush card here is that I can trigger it, and then I can also apply. Oh gosh, wait, no, I can just do Fighting Spirit here. Is Frost Charge worth going for? I kind of think so. And that way I can build up some more shield and not take damage. It is a really fun build to do Ambush Hugh triggers, but I do also really like Extreme. I want to try figure out Massacre as well, because Massacre is a really cool concept that, like, it deals AoE damage, and then the more enemies, the less damage it deals. It feels a little bit overpowered comparative to Yuki, though, because Yuki is meant to be the AoE damage dealer, and yet 9 can always activate AoE damage every single turn. Like, that feels... that feels quite strong, you know? It feels like 9 is able to take on the roles of, like, 90% of the cast, or of combatants in this. The only ones she can't take control over is multi-hit, debuffing, and... what else? Multi-hit, debuffing, and potentially card draw that Yuki has, because Yuki can always draw into her own cards. So, kind of. Trade with Darkstar or decrease health, select 1 to obtain. Let's see. Otherwise, I'll just attack and then I'll get the equipment. Decrease credits by 80, select and obtain 1 among 10 random neutral monster rare cards. Neutral normal rare cards, I mean. Or Lumen cards. I'm gonna attack. Bye-bye! Okay, and then we'll do... Oh, Storm of Bitter Cold triggers. And then we'll go into... Ice Wall and Dark Blade, I think is probably the better one here. Oh, yeah. He still got past the shield either way, so maybe it didn't matter. And then Ambush triggers. Gosh, I need to make an ambush build for the second Nebula Distortion. I've not contributed any damage towards the first one, so it's okay. And I got 140 credits. That's not half bad, actually. I could always go for some more credits. Oh, this new elite enemy is probably one of the worst. I really do not like it. He is overly strong for no good reason. Let's do Dark Condensation, and then we'll throw it on Ambush, and then that will trigger guaranteed. So you can kind of make Dark Condensation work if you know that your Q Ambush is going to be activated. So that kind of helps, actually. I wasn't actually thinking of that whenever I used it initially, because Dark Condensation is one of those really tricky cards that you kind of think to yourself, is it even going to be useful at all? I don't know. Let's use... Yeah, I'll use 9's Ego skill here just so that it reduces some of the damage, or some of the summoning levels. I don't know how it works exactly. I think it's dependent on the amount of hits that you deal, that it decreases the... Oh wait, no. It's just guaranteed to summon something, so it's going to do the Kefox now. Kefox. And unfortunately, you don't even get a... I really want to know what the monster card for this enemy is, but I've never gotten it. I've got the upgrade as well for higher chance to get the monster card, and yet still nothing? So, I don't know. I really want to know what it does. I really do. I really do. Let's see. We're going to do train... Wait, what have I got an epiphany on? Have I got an epiphany on any of Ray's? No, I've not. Okay, yeah, it's just ambush that has one so far. So then we'll do training. Hopefully I can get... Okay, maybe this is it. Heal 20% for each card in hand. Harmonization. Create 1 contaminated spore for each card in hand. Not bad. Or we can do Spore Harvester, which is retain exhaust, create 2 contaminated spore, or retain, create 1 contaminated spore. I really, really like Spore Harvester. It is actually a crazy good card, all things considered, just because it's basically 20% bonus damage taken every single turn if you can time it well. And whenever you get an epiphany on it, because it's an exhaust card, it also either gives you morale or some kind of upgrade to it. Okay, then we can choose this one, and here I think we'll throw this onto 9, so she's got some counterattacks as well. So we start with 3 counterattacks on 9, who then can trigger her ambush Hue, and Magna can then eventually get an upgrade card, which also activates Hue. Yeah. It would be nice if you could turn off that warning. I don't know, it showing up once per hour is okay, but I don't need to be reminded that I've been playing this game for a couple of hours at least. I do really like the arena though. I just kind of wish it introduced more variability for the enemies. We can do... Yeah, we'll do Glacial Iron Fist 2 and then Frost Shield, and then we can build up some more counterattack stacks. But I should still be able to do some Hue ambush here. I'm just hoping it doesn't get rid of the 534 HP one. Which it did, of course. That's exactly what I wanted, haha. And now I will do both slash. Yeah, I think I need to use both slashes on this. I could... Wait, no. I gain 1, right? No, I don't. Never mind. We'll do slash here, and that's about it. The thing with the memory fragment sets on 9, just only being able to be used 5 times per turn, still feels like a whole lot, because you're never really going to use more than 5 attack cards in a single turn with 9. She can barely use, like... I think at most I reach about 4. Or so. Here we go, Spore Harvester, and now we get to see why it's really good. So it produces 2 of these contaminated spores, which increase damage by 10%, and then we just leave it for 1 turn, and immediately generates 2 more, so we get 20% bonus damage on the enemy. But again, didn't even have to get to that point there. Instead, it just defeats them immediately. So we can do Fighting Spirit here. Then we'll do Frost Shield, I think. Is it worth doing Back Edge Parry? I don't know. I think we heal instead. So I've always attacked the ads, but maybe it's better to get rid of the tough guy first. Ambush is going to trigger, but on who I don't know since they're all attacking. And please trigger on him. Yeah, there we go. Now we can get rid of him at the beginning of the turn. So then we'll do Counter Blade. We'll use Spore Harvester. We can do Ice Wall. And then we'll do Strike... Oh no, Strike of Darkness isn't going to get rid of him. Here we go. We can do that. And then get rid of this. And now we have plus 20% damage dealt onto the next enemy with Contaminated Spore. The only downside is that whenever you're using a Spore build with a character like Magna, is that her counterattacks will activate it. Just like how Vulnerability activates it as well, unless you get her Ego Manifestation. So you end up in a bit of a weird position where you kind of do but don't want it to trigger. Also, that is by far one of the best items you can get for Magna. The one that, whenever damage is fully blocked, you produce one of those AoE damage cards. When do you think you'll upload the compilation videos? I remember you said you can make it into 2 parts. I said that I would split it up into like 1-minute segments, and then I would do that. So, yes, I will eventually do it, and I'm going to work on that tomorrow. But if it'll be done, I'm not sure. I've got about 30 minutes left to edit of the first stream, and now mind you, I'm not like doing an overly lot amount of editing on the actual video itself. It's basically cutting down parts and trying to make it make sense within the context of the video. So, sort of. it will be edited, and I'm wondering if I should add subtitles. I'm not sure. I don't know if I can even subtitle some of the screams I make while playing Devil May Cry, so we'll have to see about that. But I plan on working on it tomorrow, and then hopefully I have like 7 minutes, and then I can post a minute every single day of all of my gameplay. And then I want to try at the end of the month, not this month, maybe it ends up being like a 2-month backlog, have a big compilation video of all the things that I did during stream. So maybe then, and then we'll see. Again, my reason for doing a compilation instead of some kind of like high quality edited video is because I'm kind of new to editing, but at the same time, it takes me way too long. Streaming on top of editing and being busy throughout the day, I've got like no time otherwise. Oh, yeah, exactly. Unfortunate. I really hope it'll be fun, actually. I'm not sure how they'll turn out, but I hope people enjoy it. At the start of the battle, if owning 18 or less cards increase damage mounted attack cards by 30%, I think because we're trying... This doesn't increase allies, though, so I think we should go for stockpile. I think that's probably better, but here's a little bit of a gamble. If I get an item that also has the refinement done on it, then I'm gonna end up losing that. I hope it doesn't happen like last run. I really want to get Black Lumen here so that I can draw 3 cards. But yeah, we'll see when it comes to the compilation video, just how fun the videos are. I am trying to include both fun and like intermission parts, so to speak. Like if I'm running between areas in Devil May Cry 3, I try to splice it so that it includes some of those sections so you know where I'm going, so I'm not just teleporting between every single one of the places, and that's to keep like consistency or continuity. The main difficulty obviously being that I don't know how good the video is going to turn out. I think it's pretty okay, but I did lose like 30% or 50% of my footage at some point because my microphones, or my old microphone was having the stutter issue, as you know. So we'll have to see. I hope it's fine, though. The rest of the video is fine, at least. It's just, well, primarily that part. Hue Ambush, both of them were stunned here. Let's do this and then gain 2 counterattack. It doesn't really matter. It's going to die next turn anyway, but I couldn't use both Hue and Ambush. Or the other thing in Bob. Let's trigger this now, actually. What is this going to upgrade into? 50% shield gain or 2 vulnerable to targets that counterattack. I think we'll just do this one, because I think it doesn't apply to whenever 9 does her counterattack, unless I'm mistaken. I think 9's counter, or the upgrade card that Magna provides doesn't trigger on the counterattack. How do you like the new mic? I really like it, but question is, do you guys like the mic that I have as well? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Why is this happening to me? I just put the refinement on this last item because I was like, oh, last time I got a chess piece. Here we go. Next one. The artifact has the refinement again. Why? At the end of battle? Oh my gosh. But this one, at the start of battle, draw 1 exhaust cards of this unit. Oh, that would be so good. It is good. Awesome. Nice to hear. I wasn't sure when I was upgrading my mic because, again, my last microphone wasn't really working as good as I had hoped it would. Give us ASMR and I'll tell you my opinion on it. Do you really need to do ASMR? I'm wondering, wait, is this actually being captured right now? I think it is. OBS says that my mic is being captured. Yeah, so I could do ASMR, but it is mono audio. I can't do stereo audio. That's the only downside. I would have to manually edit it. Unfortunate that I got Heart of Gold with the refinement on the accessory slot. That sucks. Maybe we get the 140 credits bonus because I don't want to convert a selected card. It is really good. Well, if it if it was good, maybe there will be I don't know, an ASMR sometime in the future coming to cinemas near you, 2028. We'll see. My main thing is then I would probably have to do a role play or something. I otherwise don't know what I would do. When 3 cards that cost 2 or higher used stockpile, I still think the difficulty with doing stereo is that I like when ASMR is binaural. So it's stereo, and therefore you have it on both left or right ears. Doing it with mono, I don't feel it achieves the same quality, even if I were to. So I want to edit it. If I ever were to, I would want to edit it. And that's why I say that I probably wouldn't do a stream or anything on it like that. Plus, I would want to read from a script. But maybe. Removing a card, though, I think, and I kind of want to go with one with all. Again, I kind of want to try build for that again. But that would mean having shield. I mean, in worst case, right? If I'm going for a spore build, is it actually better? I'm now thinking about it. Is it actually better to have heal than damage? Or is it better to have damage than heal? I mean, even though this one does deal damage and it does heal, the fact that Spore Harvester would then have to be triggered off of it, I guess at the beginning of the turn it doesn't really matter, but then... maybe. Let's go Wizard ASMR. Eventually, one day. Gosh, this is so difficult. Question is, do I also get rid of one of these whenever gaining shield, 30% fixed shield? I don't need stockpile. I think that's fine. Let's see. Another Spore Harvester. I don't need that. You only need one contaminated spore and then it's fine. So we don't have to go for that. Gray Orb is not really worth it. Damage reduction. Another Spore Harvester? Are you kidding? Okay. How many more stores are there? Okay, there's one more, so I don't have to spend here, but I will remove a card. Let's get rid of one Darkblade. I at least know that I want to get rid of one of these, and I want less default cards. And then, question is, do I have any Epiphanies on Ray's cards yet? No, I do not. So then we'll do Training. And hopefully... No. Okay. Also, yet another card that's Hunter or the, whatever, Gunslinger, whatever it's called. Bullet exhaust 450% damage, double the effect of Spore Propagation. Gosh, that would be so good. Forest's Hunger is actually really good with Spore Propagation as well. The only downside is that it is a 2-cost. So maybe that could work with 9? Either that or... You know, I'm not... Okay. We're going to add it to 9 because she can trigger her ambush every single turn via counterattack, and we're going to see how effective it is because maybe it's worth considering doing a Veiled Thorn. If allies do not inflict damage for 1 turn, then on the start of the next turn, trigger 1 Epiphany to selected cards. Okay, we can do that. Oops, I clicked out of the game and onto YouTube by accident. We will trigger an Epiphany to... Do we want to do it to Spore Harvester, or do I want to do it to Snack Time? I think because I'm always going to use Spore Harvester, it might be better. Or is it better on Snack Time? I don't remember the Divine Epiphanies that you can get on Spore Harvester. That would really determine whether or not I go for it. Because Dark Condensation, if you get the cost reduction on it, that's really good. Resonating Darkness, I want the one that increases shield, healing, and damage. For Exhaust, maybe. For Strike of Darkness, also maybe. I think Spore Harvester is probably the best one for this. 1 AP and 1 Resolve. Resolve with shield gain. Okay. It would have been better if it weren't that, but the plus 1 AP is kind of good. And then I can attempt to get Dark Lumen for the card draw as well. Then we'll go for here. Do I want to remove any more cards? You know what? We could get rid of Fracturing Memories here, and at least that saves me from it. Yeah, or we could remove yet more cards. Like either material regeneration. Let's see. So we've got 70 points so far. If I'm going to add Dark Lumen, that's putting it to 90. Then if I'm going to duplicate, that's going to be another 20, so 110. And then if I want to remove one more card, that puts me at 130, which only gives me space for one more Divine Epiphany, which isn't that good. So, but that's a question if I get Dark Lumen. I think... maybe I should just remove Fracturing Memories or remove one of the epiphanyable cards that the other characters have. And that would work as well. Okay, let's see if I can actually pull. No. Okay, we'll remove a card, and I think I will remove maybe Fatal Strike. We can get rid of Fatal Strike. I'm not concerned about, yeah, let's get rid of Fatal Strike, and then we can try get some more Epiphanies. Then, do I do Meditation? Do I have anything else that's Epiphany? Nope, I do not. So we can do like 1 or 2 more rolls. I kind of want extra attack. That would be good. I don't know if I'm going to swap this out later, but I'll just have to regret it then and not now. Then we'll do some training and Residual Herb. Retrieve 2, Exhaust 3. 60 Shield, Incinerate, create 1 Contaminated Spore. Not half bad, actually. That's... yeah. Wait. Maybe that's what I go for. No. The downside is that although it is creating Contaminated Spore, the fact that it's a limited amount of shield, I don't think I go for it. I think I go for Dark Lumen instead. It is like 180 shield, basically for free, as an exhaust, and then it creates a Contaminated Spore. But exhaust cards, I feel like it's really difficult to build a deck around exhaust. Mostly because your deck becomes thinner and thinner and thinner. We can get rid of Ice Wall here, I think. Or let's just do Ambush. I think that's the safest. Oh, really? Fracturing Memories? Maybe I should have gotten rid of that. Eesh. Okay, we'll do this. I know it's not damage, but building up counterattack stacks so both Magna and 9 can attack is not a bad idea. We'll do Experience Strike here. And this one seems a bit better. We'll do Storm of Bitter Cold, and then we can gain shield, I think. Because I think Magna's doesn't depend on who does it. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, but of course, 9 immediately goes into Mental Break, and we lose the ambush. Nice. Okay. Also, I was just contemplating, since you mentioned the ASMR thing, and I did just say recently, oh, maybe I will have to do a stream on it that's like pre-recorded or a roleplay or something. Maybe there's the chance that I just do a regular stream that's all ASMR instead. That would be kind of funny. Oh, what's happening to the game? Okay, nothing. It just decided it wouldn't work there. I think that would be pretty funny, maybe. I don't know if I could hold it up for doing a full 2 hours of just talking at the same time. We can do Predator Blade. Wait, does this deal a lot of damage? No, Predator Blade deals way more damage. So we'll do that, then we'll do Strike of Darkness, and then we can do Resonating Darkness and then Frost Shield. I should have done that in the reverse order, and it does give me extra AP, but it's only 1 left. It would be... oh, wait. Don't I have something that stockpiles? Am I wrong? No. Yes, I do. I do have 1 stockpile. Wait, but I already used it. Okay, never mind. I thought I still had 1, but I did not have stockpile. Then we'll use the 2 Contaminating Spores, and maybe going for Ice Wall. Oh, of course, Magna's Spore Propagation. Oh, the more card that you don't need is eliminated, the more chance of getting upgrading the card for you want. That happens. Yeah, but like... it's only for exhaust cards. I want to remove some of the cards, and that's why I was hoping to get more of Rays upgraded. We'll add some more counterattack, and then I'll heal a little bit as well. It is nice that it shows you how much of the HP you're going to regen is. Let's use this immediately. Spore Propagation, then we'll use Frost Charge, and then... is it worth doing Glacial Iron Fist, or is it worth... I don't know, is he gonna add shield? No, probably not. We'll do that. It's not a whole lot of damage, and I'm hoping that I can redraw into Hue. But yeah, I do want to remove, or at least eliminate some of the cards from my deck that are just clogging up the cards that I do want Epiphanied. And then we'll do Frost Shield for an extra counterattack. I think I've already got Ice Shield, or whatever it was called, Glacial Ice Barrier. I forget the names of it. It really feels like I need acronyms for some of the cards. And... Hue? There we go. Now we've got Ambush back in hand. Then we'll gain Frost Charge, and then I'm going to do Experience Strike, And there we go. I don't think we're taking any damage this turn. Then we can do material regeneration. It is 166. I need to double check just how much Ray's basic card heals. So keeping in mind 166. Let's do one regular attack with no buffs. That gets me 73 plus 133. Okay, that's way higher. It's actually way worth getting rid of material regeneration. Then we'll use the... Can I get him down enough? I kind of hope so. Let's use Fighting Spirit. That will then create an ambush, then he'll attack. And then, yeah, no, it was just off the cusp of it. Oh man, there we go. Either way, we still used ambush twice in a single turn. Then I think I haven't used an attack so I can gain healing here. No. Okay. Well, unfortunate. I should have been able to heal a little bit more. Oops, that's my chair. We'll do Contaminated Spore. Then I think, yeah, ambush here. Hopefully we crit. No, we don't. Am I really going to die? No. We can either use Magna or we can use Zero. I think we use Magna just so that we don't use up Magna's -4 cost on her mental breakdown recovery. There we go. And then copy a card. Now, is it worth duping a card on Ray? Like, do I want to get Snack Time? I kind of feel like I want Snack Time for the extra card draw. Let's see. Okay, so I could either do... No. Oh my gosh, this sucks. I don't want... I don't want it to be Spore Harvester, Dark Condensation, or Strike of Darkness. It does increase resolve, but I wanted it to increase morale, which is why I was concerned of if I do get that. Oh gosh, that's so lame. Increase damage amounts of attack cards with a cost of 2 or higher by 30% one time per turn. I think that's limited though to... I think we'll have to put this on 9. I think that's limited to the character that possesses the item only and not to all allies. So that doesn't really help me there. Maybe. Draw one extra card? I think so. I think that's probably the better one. Unfortunate that we didn't get one of the seasonal fates. We go down... No, but then we can do an elite instead. I'm wondering, is that better? We do get 2 question marks, or we get 1 elite, and then we can see what that is. Again, I really want some of the monster cards. I want to add them to my collection so that I can have that completed. Because I didn't know that before that point, you never get them added to your collection unless you've actively added them to your deck before in the previous run. So that's kind of what I'm trying to aim for. Maybe doing that isn't a bad idea, but at the same time, I'm quite on low HP. Let's go bottom. I'm not gonna fully risk it. I don't need another monster card right now. Okay, we got Forced Hunger now of all times. We'll trigger this. We'll use Predator Blade. I should have done Resonating Darkness, and then we can use Frost Shield. Trying to kind of cut down on the amount of damage I'm taking, but that's mostly because Ray is going to enter Mental Break, I think, this turn. No? Maybe? Ambush, and there we go. Now it's applied to the end of the turn. It's a kind of strange the way that it sequentially applies the Mental Break. Like, I always feel it's at the very end of the turn, but sometimes it will be right before then. But maybe I'm just, like, misremembering or something. Add a shield. Again, not really gaining that much in terms of resistance to attacks by having such low shield gains. I feel like I need better equipment on... Oh, actually, Glacial Iron Fist AoE damage is always really good because of the amount of shield you can gain. And then we've got 2 of these unexplored or unidentified areas. No way, you look just like me. It's 1 random neutral card. No, let's go for more money. Very nice, very nice. Okay. And then we get some of that, and then we'll go to the store right after, I think. Here. Oh no, we've got the arena, of course. I don't know what I want to be the reward outcome. That's my main issue here. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna get the exact deck I wanted with Ray either. Let's see if I can maybe get something good though. I don't think this is gonna be the one. Let's do Counterblade. Can I get... No, I did not get the +1. When a card is exhausted, Honed Edge doesn't help whatsoever. We can do Fortitude, and that's pretty okay. Yeah, I think Fortitude is probably better for this because I don't have a whole lot of cards that are exhausting. And we'll do Frost Charge. I should have done Storm of Bitter Cold first. Oh my goodness. I'm fumbling massively, and then we can use this one and just draw one more card, and hopefully it's something that costs 1, maybe? Nope, it's instead that. And then we'll just end turn. Unfortunate, unfortunate. Will the ambush... Okay. I mean, the crit damage is kind of nuts, genuinely. Okay, we'll use this, and then Fracturing Memories. Oh, I forgot, I do have Stockpile, so that's why I'm able to retain that there. And... okay, whatever. Ambush. I was hoping to get one of Ray's cards so that I could at least heal a little bit. It is kind of nuts that Ray heals way more than you would expect because of her cards via attacks. So we'll do that. Fracturing Memories, have to use that. We'll use Counterblade. Frost Charge, and then we'll do... We'll attack this one, actually. I don't want to remove the vulnerable. Yeah, and that should be a-okay for now. We'll do Storm of Bitter Cold, and then we'll do either Ice Wall? No, we can do 2 Frost Shields and it gets me the same effect. Plus it activates twice, which means that I get double the amount of counter attack than I would have gone for Ice Wall. Or, no, 50% more. So, there we go, we did an ambush. And then, let's see what Dark Condensation gets me. Ooh! Divine Epiphany? Yes, okay, that's the... Oh wait, no. I was gonna say that's the exact one I want, but I wanted reduce the cost of this card by 1 on the right side. Because then I can do it to heal, damage, and shield gain, which would have been crazy good. Instead, it's just the upgrade one, which is kind of tough to use. At least it filters itself out of the deck because it's an upgrade, but that does put me at 90. Okay. Which one do I apply it to? I think I'll do Glacial Iron Fist. We'll do Spore Harvester. We'll do Shield Blast. And then I'll... Okay, 2 more Shield Blasts. Oh, never mind. He's going to attack me. And bye-bye. Hugh Ambush is going to hit him. Gosh, that has a lot of counterattacks. There we go. And it's a crit for 3k. Heavy Blow each turn. Yeah, not too bad. We can add that to 9. Right now, it's just stat padding them. They're just stat sticks for my Ray build. Yep, let's imbue my equipment with some stuff. If damage through a card was not dealt to an enemy for 1 turn, nope. Increase shield amount and increase heal amount. Yeah, I think that's probably the better one that we can go for in this case. Okay, here we go. Bloody bloody blah. And then continue. So, store is better here. We can remove, I think, the material regeneration, I think is the better one. So, oops, not that one. Material regeneration. And then, we've got only 20 points left, which means that if I were to go for a Lumen, that really sucks. Okay. I do want to get 2 more Divine Epiphanies, or at least 1 of 2. Yeah, I want 2 of them to get a Divine Epiphany, if anything. Maybe Veiled Thorn? No. What do I want to get? Is this better? No, because I like having the higher heal amounts. And then I need something for armor, and I need something for attack. Because even though these are good, they're not as good. When's the next store? The next store is, okay, either way, all over there, and that puts me at 1. Oh gosh, I've only got 2 more stores left that I can do. So we'll save, and then, oh wait, no, because I'm gonna have to do meditation later anyway. Then I'll get, oh, we'll re-roll this and see if I can get any of the event equipment. Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. Okay, I mean, there is moss armor, but I don't really want that one. Yeah, then we'll do... no. I don't want to risk losing the meditation, or the Divine Epiphany on one of these cards, because they are really good. Cha-cha! Yeah, exactly. The store, the shop owner's really cute. I really like her. Dark Condensation, reduce the cost. I don't want to lose that because that's the only way that card is ever useful, like genuinely. Training. We'll do training. Residual Herb or Nature's Gift. I could, you know what? Let's do Residual Herb on Magna. I think Magna probably benefits from it. Maybe. It also triggers her little doll more often, I think. Okay. Oh, but that also means that I won't be able to get any card duplications on Ray. Ugh, yeah, I just realized that now. Gosh, I'm really gonna be suffering from the amount of lack of shield that I have here. We say that every CZN stream. She is so cute. Honestly, yeah. And I will never stop saying it either. She is just that cute. Here we go. Trigger that. Trigger that. Please, please. I want to have enough shield to not take damage. That would be pretty nice. Thank you very much. And we'll use that. And yeah, we can... No, do I use... Okay, let's use Dark Blade. I want to heal, actually. There we go. 65, 133. And we've healed. And now we've got 2 Contaminated Spore in hand. Not half bad. And Ambush triggers, and he's gone. Yep. Ain't easy being cheesy, I gotta say. Latent Epiphany? What's this gonna be on? Oh, it's a Divine Epiphany on the Forest's Hunger. Increase this card's damage by 30%? Yeah, that's pretty good. Only downside is I really didn't want these Divine Epiphanies on these cards, please. 4 counterattack, draw 1. Yeah, that's not half bad. Honestly, not half bad. Getting extra draw on cards? Pretty good. Okay, and then we go up here. At least I have the choice to go back down if I really want to. And here is where I would have been able to pick Ebony Lumen. Oh my goodness. Draw 3, then create 1 broken Ebony Lumen. Is it worth being able to do that? Or should I have 2 Divine Epiphanies or at least 1 more card copy? I think 2 more Divine Epiphanies is probably more worth it than getting Ebony Lumen, honestly. We can remove 2 more cards, I think. And then we can at least get rid of Fracturing Memories as one of them. And then, which card has not received an Epiphany yet? Okay, all of 9's has, which means that we've only got Magna's left. So I'll actually remove Ice Wall. Yeah, I think I'll remove Ice Wall, just so that we can try increase the chances of us getting an Epiphany on Ray instead. And then hopefully we get the same amount of luck as I did earlier and I get 2 Epiphanies on Ray's cards. How did I get 2 Epiphanies back to back? Jeez. Okay. Storm of Bitter Cold, Frost Shield. Oh gosh, I'm gonna take so much damage. I've got barely any healing. Then we'll do a bit of healing via this support unit. And we could use Ray, but I don't really want to, so that'll just have to do. We have a bunch of counterattacks, though. That's 4, and that's basically 5 with the added ambush. Kinda nuts. Then we'll use Dark Condensation, and we'll use that on maybe Forest's Hunger. We can use Residual... No, I don't want to use that this turn. We'll do Ice Fragment, and then we'll do Experience Strike, I think, so that we can gain yet more counterattack. Yeah, there we go. And then we can do Heavy Blow. There we go. Yeah, I don't need to activate Residual Herb. Residual Herb. Here we go. Ambush. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, and Magna's gone into Mental Break, of course. At least it's now, you know? And then we're going to heal it a little bit if I can, yeah, if we can draw some of her cards. Then we'll do Snack Time onto Back Edge Parry, I think. Get rid of that. Then we can trigger this. Then we could do Spore Harvester. I don't know why I'm doing that. And then we'll just activate this. Oh no, I should have attacked with Strike of Darkness so I could have healed. Never mind. Oh, am I fighting Senectus now? Yep, fighting Senectus. Okay. Maybe this is fine though, because I can at least get Magna out of... Wait, does this count? Oh my gosh, it counts. At least it triggers the ambush, but still. That's so lame. Okay, let's use Dark Condensation, and then... Oops. And then we'll use Forced Hunger. And then we'll use Impulse. Here we go. Jeez, the screaming! And then we'll use Forced Hunger on him. And that'll exhaust Ambush and Fear. Okay, not half bad. And then we've got one stockpile, so I'll gain 4 AP for the start of the next turn. Yeah, there we go. And we'll use Impulse. That gets Magna out of there. So we're at 1, 12, 11. Oh, it doesn't heal. I thought it always healed. Then we can use Counterblade. Maybe we use Ice Fragment here. And then Experienced Strike. I should have used Resonating Darkness first, I'm just realizing. I don't want to use my little time vials, though, and then we'll use Heavy Blow. Here we go. And then we end our turn, and Ambush should be triggered by his attack. Here we go. 2 counterattacks. Oh my goodness, that's so much HP damage. Okay, snack time, and we'll get rid of Wound. Bye-bye. And I think Predator's Blade is best here. Oh wait, no. I used 2 cards in a row, didn't I? Oh my gosh, all that effort gone. Okay. And then Fighting Spirit, and that uses Ambush. Man, I love that scream. That's one way of putting it. I do get what you mean, but that's one way of putting it. Oh yes, a Divine Epiphany. Here we go. Reduce the cost of this card for 1 turn. Gain 2 morale. Yeah, that's worth it. More Divine Epiphanies, please. 18 plus attack. Oh my gosh. No way here. Oh no, connection lost. No. Not your connection. I can't hear anything. I was just saying that you complimenting her screams like that is very suspicious. Let's even have fun. Okay, Blissful Oblivion. Decrease all combatant stress by 12. Or increase the amount of credits. I think we increase the amount of credits. I'm going to try roll as best as I can. Or, I don't know, maybe a new chess piece is good for Ray. And we do want to go to one more store. I think we go down, actually. Then we can hit an elite, or we can hit 2 elites. But we don't get as many events. That's the downside. Because I think events, one of these 2 might be guaranteed to be the Divine Epiphany one that allows you to select a card to gain a Divine Epiphany. So I think I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go around like that and pick one of these 2. And then I'll take on the elite there. It's a little bit unfortunate, because I do want to fight 2 elites just for the chance at equipment, but... Oh, here we go, Spore Propagation. Yes, that's the one I wanted. Okay, double the effect of Spore Propagation on the 6th attack card created for 1 turn. That's so good. So good, especially for the Spore Propagation build that I'm trying to go for Ray. And here we go. Let's do snack time, get rid of the wound card, then we can use Dark Condensation on Predator's Blade, I think. Okay, they've got infinites, so we'll do Resonating Darkness, Frost Charge, then should I do Predator's Blade? No, we can do Ambush, I think is better. Actually, we can just do... I'll hit this guy. We'll use Ray's ability here. Then we can do both of them. So then I'll do Predator's Blade, heal a little bit. 133, not bad. Then we can do Ambush, and whoever I hit will still have vulnerability applied. It didn't crit, though. It did not crit, though. But it's whatever. Can I defeat one of them? No. Okay. But I've still got, like, plenty of shield, and I'm dealing plenty of damage either way. So, here we go. Oh, very nice, very nice. We'll do shield here. We'll do residual herb. What's this going to do? Oh, it's going to epiphany. We can do damage reduction. Ooh, vulnerable to all enemies. Not bad. And then we can have this apply again. And then we can have this apply again. And then we'll do Counterblade. Then we can do... Should I do Spore Harvester? I think so. We'll do this. Oh, I should have done it on this guy. Yeah, let's do Spore Harvester. And then we'll add Contaminated Spores onto him. We'll do... Yeah, we can get rid of him like that. Nice. Okay. And now we can do Slash. Okay, also a crit. And then we'll do Ambush, and then we just win. We also don't take any damage, which is nice. Because of the shields. Also, the amount of crit damage that 9 deals is insane. Like a ridiculous amount of it. Okay, and then we go up here, and then we're going to do the store. Because I've got 700 gold coins or credits, and I'm like way invested. Glacial Iron Fist is really good here, so let's do that. Can I get 1 extra AP, please? Please? No, okay. We'll just do this, and that removes one of their incubate stacks. We'll also do this to remove yet another one of them, so that they stop getting a whole bunch of buffs and it deals more damage. Bye-bye! Okay. And yeah, I think that's it. Are they going to incubate this turn then? Yeah, okay. Incubate -1, morale +1. Or +2, I mean. Here we go. And then we'll do Strike of Darkness. I don't think this costs anything, yeah, so it doesn't really matter. We could do, we can do this either way. And then Spore Harvester for some more. Then I can, oh, none of they're only shielding. Okay, then we can do this. Gain yet some more AP. Then we can do Heavy Blow. And then let's do Resonating Darkness. I do really want the Epiphany on that one, if I'm being honest. It would be really nice to get the Epiphany on that one. At least a Divine one, just so that I can get more stuff. But it is probably going to take a couple of rerolls. I'm back. I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Residual Herb. They're still just shielding. Why are they still just shielding? Okay, whatever, I suppose. We'll apply as many vulnerability stacks as humanly possible to them. And because Forest's Hunger is so good, we just insta-kill this guy. Bye-bye. And then we can do Fighting Spirit and Ambush and win. There we go. And we're on full HP again. Not bad. Not bad. 28 credits, whatever. We're going to the store here. And now we are going to... Wait. Actually, I'm missing 3 Epiphanies? Oh gosh. Am I gonna get enough? I kinda think I'm not going to. Let's remove even more cards. Okay. Wait, no. I've already got max Epiphanies on everything else. It's just Ray that hasn't gone there. Really? Why? Why? Please, just give me the rest of the Epiphany. I got Epiphanies on everyone else maxed out? Gosh, okay. Let's roll for some more items. I want a good armor piece. That's what I really want. Is this one good? No. When ally attack card wasn't activated. No. Okay. Maybe we remove something else then? I could remove back edge parry. I don't want to get any... I don't want to get rid of any more cards from Ray, because then I'll throw her over the limit. Wait, what? Wait. Why is she on 140? I've removed 2. That should be 40. I've then added 1 that got a Divine Epiphany. I'm so confused. Wait, so removing 2 is 40. Then getting a Divine Epiphany 3 times, that's 30. So that puts me at 70. Then I've added a card, and that's another 20. So that puts me at 90. And... What? Wait, why? 30. Remove 2. 40. No duplicates. What? Wait, why? I'm so confused. I thought I was meant to have enough space for 2 more Divine Epiphanies. I thought I was meant to be at 120, not 140. Okay. Maybe yeah, okay. Yeah, this is so sad. Yeah. That's so weird. Why? What? I should only be at like 90 or something. I shouldn't have that many points or that much faint memory on her. I don't know where those came from. Okay, then we'll do Dark Condensation. We'll add it to Hue Ambush. Then we'll do Frost Charge. Then we'll do Hue Ambush. Then I'll be generating 2 contaminated spores. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out in my mind what happened, but I genuinely do not know. Here we go. And Fighting Spirit into Ambush. Very nice. Then we can maybe do this, and that gives me 1 more AP. Yep. Then we can do Resonating Darkness. I know it didn't affect that. I need this game to add like a calculator or a button that I can click to see how much faint memory each action I've done is, because 2 removals only being 40 cost makes sense. Here we go. Here's an epiphany. Select and exhaust up to 2 cards in hand. Select and draw 1 void card. Then draw for each card exhausted, or gain 1 ego point. I mean, it kind of depends. I think we do... Select and draw 1 void card. If I were to select and draw 1 void card, what would it be? Would it be better to do that to guarantee which card I'm getting from my draw pile, or just draw 2 more? Issue is that it would only be raise. It kind of makes sense. But then if I have no card, I think this one. Because the leftmost one can be conditionally bad if I don't have any of Ray's cards in deck. Yeah, and then we'll go for the elites over here, I think. So what is this? Robe of Oblivion. When shield is gained through an exhaust card, increase damage amount by 20% for 1 turn, or increase credits. I would rather increase credits. Man, I really thought that I would still have some faint memory left over. I'm not understanding why. Is it increasing the amount of cost per Divine Epiphany for each one that you have? That seems kind of weird. That doesn't make much sense to me. Maybe that is how it works, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, Spore Harvester. And then we'll do Storm of Bitter Cold. And then we'll do... Wait, do I want to do Snack Time here? Yeah, I could. Well, no. Maybe I just do Heavy Blow because it's increasing the amount of damage. Then we do Glacial. Then we exhaust both slash cards, I think. Here we go. And then we can do Residual. And then we can do Residual. And then we can do Frost Shield. And there we go. We just have exactly enough. And, oh gosh, that removed... Whoa! That's a lot of counterattacks. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Okay. Here, and then we can just... I think I'm at max HP, but let's just make sure. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to use... Oh gosh. Wait, never mind. I lost the ability to do Hue. Experienced Strike. Oh no. That looks beautiful. Wait, what looks beautiful? the amount of counterattacks that I did? Yeah, that was nuts. I really want the ego manifestation for Magna where she doesn't use up vulnerability stacks. When shield is gained, increased damage amount of the next 1 attack card activated by 20% for 1 turn 2 times per turn. I think that's probably better for this. I know it doesn't really apply to Ray, but still. I think that's probably better, right? Okay. Now, I don't need to remove a card, but I also don't know if I'm gonna get an Epiphany on any of her other cards. Like, Resonating Darkness is yet to get an Epiphany, and Predator's Blade is yet to get an Epiphany. And Oh gosh, this just like kind of sucks. I got such a good startup, at least for some of the contaminated spore builds, but the absolute lack is just, well, ruining this. Okay, this would have been such a good build otherwise. Maybe I go for prepare for battle? I don't know. No. Okay, that's a lot of 0 cost. Yeah. It is, quite a bit, but I want Resonating Darkness and Predator's Blade as well. I'm just lucky that I got the reduce the cost of this card, reduce the cost of this card, so that I can play more. But I feel like she should have had more draw cards. It's so sad that Rally is now an exhaust. My gosh, it was such a good card to have. We could probably remove... I don't know. Let's do meditation. Let's try re-roll something. I'm thinking we could re-roll Snack Time. Or maybe this is the best one for it. You know? Let's try re-roll Dark Condensation to hopefully get a better one. Oh, there we go. Divine Epiphany. Draw 1, choose 1 attack cards. Damage amount until used, so it can be anywhere. I actually think that's way, way, way better. Hey yo, early stream today, huh? Yep, early streams on weekends. Though, my reason for that is because I'm usually busy later. I play a lot of tabletop over the weekends, so I don't have much time. And then on Sundays, I try to compile everything that I have to do for the rest of the week. But welcome, Helios. How have you been? How's your weekend so far? Oh gosh. Is there anything? I'm really glad that I got Dark Condensation to draw and then on any card. Gosh, that's way better. Maybe it's not so bad that then I haven't gotten all of the Epiphanies, but I still really want Epiphanies on Resonating Darkness and Predator's Blade. That would be so good. Let's remove something. There is also an achievement to buy every single item in the store every single time. But gosh, I don't know if I can bear through with that. Let's get rid of Frozen Fist, I think. And then I have some money left over. What do I want? I can't actually get anything else. I could get Assault Boots. No, but I actually like the amount of counterattack. We can add a weapon to her. There we go. Stat sticking. Just how I like it in my RPGs. Turn them all into stat sticks that just hit hard and do nothing else. Oh, abnormal boss. 51k HP. Jeez. Okay. Oh, this is gonna... Epiphany? Okay. For 1 turn, 80% damage amount of cards with cost 1, or 40% to damage, shield gain, and heal amount of cost 1 cards. Which one is actually better, though? Or 1 cost or less, I could change it to? I kind of think resonating the middle one is better, right? Because then you get more shield gain. Though it won't... Oh gosh. If I go for that one, I'm basically removing... I'm removing 9's 1 cost cards anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter. But the rightmost one is mostly better, kind of, because it's a 0 cost. And then I can repeatedly use it, but I do want to draw into other characters' cards whenever I'm playing as her. Ready damage amount with cards with cost 1 or less. How many cards do I have that cost 1 or less? I've none in this deck, except the 1 card Ray has. I think the middle one. The right one is better, right? It's very variable. If you're drawing into a bunch of attack cards that cost 1, then yes. If you were to build Ray for Sereniel, then the leftmost one is better. The right one would be really good with a character like Reen, but the middle one works really well with characters that have multi-decks, so to speak. For instance, Ray technically has a heal card, but then she works really well with Magna as well. Also, the downside being that it goes from upgrade to skill. So upgrade means that you would never have to play it again, which means that you don't fill your deck up with more cards and you can deck thin more easily, which is why it's kind of good. I like the middle one usually because if I'm playing Ray with Magna, then I can increase the amount of shield I get, and then I have to play less shield cards. So inadvertently, it actually increases how much AP you have, because you don't need to draw as much, and you don't need to use as many shield cards to survive an attack. The only downside is that this wouldn't activate for Magna's 2-cost shield cards, which is the Ice Barrier Strike, and then the 2-cost, like, counterattack all enemies. But I actually think the middle one is probably better, because it thins the deck. Okay. Plus, it also works for Experience Strike and everything else. We'll do Predator's Blade here, Strike of Darkness, and then Experience Strike. Because I think as well with the shield gains, it does affect Experience Strike as well, maybe. I'm considering pulling more on Nine's banner to get some ego on her. Not sure if it's worth. The first ego that you get with her is well worth it. I haven't done it though, because it's actually kind of bad for auto builds, because auto builds, it'll just use Fighting Spirit, and it will exhaust every single card on your deck, especially if you've got a bunch of them, which means that it's actually worse. It's a detriment to your auto builds, but if you are just playing 9 manually every single time, the first ego manifestation is really good, because then it lets you pick which card you want to activate and exhaust. So it's nuts in that regards, or in that regard. But yeah, as for an auto build, it would just exhaust everything in your hand, including other fighting spirits, and then you can just, I don't know, you can just ruin a run. I've seen some people talking about how it just activates everything, and it sucks for that reason. But if you play it manually, yeah, good to go, essentially. We'll do Storm of Bitter Cold, and then I can gain +3 counterattack. I would say overall, however, for everything, like 90% of the time, because you'll be playing manual, and because you'll be playing like Spiral Tower of Screams, it is worth it to get the first ego manifestation. Well, it depends. The AI is gigabad anyway. IMO, so not sure simulation potential farming. I'm usually manualing stuff. Yeah, but the challenge modes is what I'm thinking of. Yes, as said, it works for like 90% of stuff. The only thing that you have to consider is if you ever make an auto build, I don't know, right, if this game will ever turn out like Fate Grand Order, where you have specific team setups that are only there to grind difficult missions on auto. But it could be, and what I do as well for Basin, like the one that refreshes monthly, and the more difficult combat missions, those ones would be harder, per se, because you won't be able to auto them as easily. So that's the only main downside, per se. But then again, is that much of a downside at all? It really depends on how you feel about it. We'll do Dark Condensation, draw into something else here. Like on auto, the AI will just use 3 AP to activate Kalipe's 3-cost Vulture card instead of using Hue and getting the Celestials for free. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just sucks. But if you're trying to make an auto build specifically, then it'll be even harder. So I've got my 4 Fighting Spirit deck with Hue Extreme, and then all of my other characters are just there to draw into those so that I can get up to level 5 Hue every single turn. And that's my auto build, and that just wipes the level 10, what is his name? The level 10 Judas challenge mission, so I can auto it by doing that. I can show it right after. I'm like right at the end. Select 1 card to apply. I think we'll do select Glacial Iron Fist, I think is probably better. And then we'll do Heavy Blow here, and then we'll do Dark Blade. Not that it really matters. You'll see what I mean, because if you make a deck specifically for autoing can just be reliable. You basically have the entire deck consist of 0-cost cards, and everything else are that costs are the cards that you want. How do I even get Hugh to 5? It seems level 3 is the max for me. Is it the special epiphany? Yeah, only extreme goes to level 5. The rest of them don't. Oh gosh. I didn't want to have snack time here. Let's activate Glacial Iron Fist, and then we'll also activate Frost Shield. Maybe that'll be fine. I'll show you whenever I get to my decks and whatnot. And then, let's see, activate Contaminated. Do I have Hue in hand? No, I don't, but I can use this, and I'll just trigger one of them randomly. Frost Charge, Predator's Blades, and that's about it. I just want to heal up. I think he's going to go into his invincible phase next turn. Oh no, here he's going to do the big attack. We'll do Counter Blade, 2 of these. Then we'll do... Is it worth doing Ice Fragment here? I'm not sure. Choose 1 attack cards. I don't know, I just tend to go for Ambush anyway unless I need Giga AoE. That's one of the things I was talking about earlier. I want to build a Massacre deck for 9. Because I feel like she can replace Yuki, but I just haven't really gotten the chance to. This season doesn't give you a whole bunch of stuff that works really well with Massacre builds. Which one do I want to apply this to? Can I put on to... Yeah, let's put on to Hugh Ambush. And then we'll do Snack Time on... I think Ice Fragment, honestly, and Forced Hunger. I'm not going to bother with those. And then we draw 2... Strike of Darkness. Trust me, Massacre with 9 and Kalipe Amir. Yeah, I believe you. It's just that I haven't gotten any of the cards that I need to build a proper Massacre deck yet. That's my issue where I'm at currently. Otherwise, I would absolutely do that. The issue as well is that I already have Yuki built, so I don't actually need to make that unless I really want to. Okay, Ambush here. And then I think we Glacial Iron Fist. Oh man, I should have used Strike of Darkness. And then we can use Reflection 0, exhaust the slash attack as well. Very nice. I mean, I think I've won this one anyway. Even though it's not guaranteed just yet. Yuki was the Chun-Li Tenten's hairstyle girl, right? Yeah, exactly. She's the one that focuses entirely on doing AoE builds anyway. So you end up basically doing the same thing. Oh my gosh, I keep drawing so many cards into hand. Let's do Frost Charge, Frost Shield, and then I will actually do Dark Blade here. That does get rid of one of those, but I will use my Contaminated Spore because I'm drawing 6 cards per turn. Oh, okay, it just activated Invincibility, so I didn't even need to activate the shields. Nice. We'll do, Predator Blade, right? Yeah, I think so. And then we'll do Glacial. And then we'll draw 1 card. We might activate Ray's ability here as well. Yeah, we will, I think. And then we'll use the Ice Shield so that I can not take nearly as much damage and then also gain counterattack. Oh, here we go. And then I can also gain yet more shield. How much counterattack stacks do I have? Have I not used it yet? No, I have. Wait, what? Okay. I thought I would be at max counterattack stacks, but I guess not. It's just dealing so many attacks per turn. Oh, no, I am. Okay, 10. Yeah. Jeez. Okay, I was confused there for a moment. I thought that I wasn't doing max counterattack stacks, but I am. Here we go. I think I've got this. This should be a-okay. I can't draw any more cards, though. Lol. We'll do Frost Charge, Strike of Darkness, Dark Blade, and then we'll get rid of Bleed. It's just been wasting away my hand these past couple of turns. Then we'll do Ambush. Hopefully this gets close to getting rid of him. Okay. 1 more Contaminated Spore. We'll do Fighting Spirit. Oh, he is going to wipe me this turn unless I can somewhat heal. Would this save me? No. Would that save me? No. Wait, how much counterattack do I have? I've got 5. So if I do How good is the new character, by the way, and how likely are we to get the cat girl or short-haired girl as a playable character? I was going to talk about that this stream, but I've been stuck on this one run the entire time. So actually, I'll right after this one, I'll do a little bit of a discussion, because I'm going to wrap up soon the stream anyway after this run. So I'll get to that. Thanks for reminding me. Let's do Frost Shield, I think. We'll do Frost Shield. We'll do... Oh, is it better to do Consecration? I kind of think so. If I can survive for one more turn, I think I might survive. And then, yeah, there we go. Wait, you're wrapping up the stream already? Yeah, I started 2 hours ago. And by now, I stream 2 hours every single day. Except on Sundays now, because I use them for editing. But I'm mainly busy on weekends. Plus, I'm also really sleepy on weekends. I sleep in a whole lot. Oh, wait, did I just win without having to... No, okay, I survived one more turn. But yeah, I'm wrapping up the stream semi-soon, only because I've been streaming for today already. So, we'll see. But I'll be good for, like, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes. It depends on how long it takes me to talk about the new character. We'll do Magno. I don't want to risk accidentally triggering Ray or something. And then we'll get equipment. Allies do not inflict damage. No, let's just throw that on her. And then God's Hammer, we'll throw it on the weapon. Here we go. What do I get? Please be something good. At the start of the next turn, after taking damage, 60% fixed shield. So good. So good, actually. Oh my gosh. That's nuts. No. I don't really like any of those. It's, yeah, some of the memory fragments feel really underpowered compared to the other ones, at least in its current state. I think that Ray build came out okay-ish, kind of. Maybe. Kinda, maybe. It wasn't as good as I would have liked it to be, if I'm being honest, but most of it was otherwise pretty okay. Also, is Predator Blade the unique card for Ray? I've completely forgotten. It's of Mythic rarity? Is it? Wait. I think it was of Mythic rarity. It is of Mythic rarity. Okay, that's why I wasn't getting any epiphany on it. Okay. So, yeah. I was wanting to show one of my builds as well. Who was it for? Oh yeah, my auto build. This is my auto build. So basically, Hue activates at the start of every single turn. Then I've got 4 Fighting Spirits to activate Hue Extreme. Then I've got on-card Exhaust, fixed damage to a random enemy. And then I have extra crit rates and increase the damage amount of exhaust cards by 25%. So these will exhaust all my Fatal Strike and Experience Strike or whatever. And then on Hue Extreme, because I'm activating it once per turn, and then I got 4 of these cards, I can potentially push Hue up all the way to level 5 in a single turn, which is really good. So it really wipes the floor with Judas on the challenge mission. And then we've got my Yuki build here, which is kind of okay. It was made a while ago. Yeah, that was made on the 11th of November. Or, wait. I thought that was... No, the 15th of November. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then my Magna build right now is very mediocre. I still have not gotten the Dominion card. Yeah, here we go. I've still not gotten the Dominion card ever again. It's been so rare to get it. But yeah, speaking of the new character, let's go to, I don't know, one of the screens that doesn't like fry my OLED. And where is she? Where is she? So it must be in my likes, I think. And then I can pull it up on a screen. No, okay, maybe not. Chaos Zero Nightmare, where's their account? I follow them, but I'm just doing my last weekly run for the event right now. Yep. I don't know, there's... Wait, is this a character short, but is it gonna show me all of her stuff? Wait, no, maybe, no? Nothing. Okay, it doesn't show. I know that JP posted her kit somewhere, but maybe the page as well. Let's see, view page. I will find it. I will find it. Let me see. Oh, goodness me. Why can I not... Okay. So I'll just show or share this tab. Oops. Oops. Can I share this? Let's find OBS and then I'll begin sharing it. How do you do this now? I did this before, but browser. And then we'll do this. Wait, does this actually load? I don't think it does. Oh, wait. No, it does. But how do you scroll? I'm not sure how you scroll in this. On the OBS overlay of this. What are you meant to do? Okay. I might need to scroll down a bit. Okay, let's Google how do you do this. OBS, how to scroll on browser load. Browser source, how do you scroll up and down on the page? You've never been able to scroll without the interact mode. Right click on the source and interact. Oh, here we go. Aha, okay. I figured it out. Question is it going to be reflected completely? Let's see. So, does this look fine? We've got it on page here. What it is I'm looking at, and then if I click on interact mode, does it scroll? Yeah, okay, it scrolls on stream as well, I think. Yep. Oh, it is kind of cutting off my character though. I will move it to the side. Here, and now I click right click, interact. So we've got the new character and whatnot, or at least the patch notes for it. So new boss, which is going to be separate parts, which says that we're going to be focusing on each of the hands or whatever to kind of coordinate attacks, whether or not we'll take high amounts of damage or not, or whether or not its attack patterns will change. It looks like they're running an Orlea, the new character in 9 build. I don't know why they would run Orlea here. It seems like the new character is meant to be a support while also a versatile DPS, but I don't know, maybe there's some kind of synergy that I'm not thinking about. I was thinking that this new character, I've already forgotten her name, kind of looks like a combination between Mika and Orlea, because she has AP generation and creation cards. So we've got the new one here, Typhera. That's her name. Typhera does a couple of things with archetype cards, is what she calls them. So they are a type of creation card, which is why I think Orlea's cards might be able to trigger Typhera's cards, since they are considered creation ones, and because some of Orlea's cards say activate or trigger the retain effect of creation cards, these might be able to be used. So we've got a couple of them, and very clearly they're based off of shapes. We've got the circle, triangle, and square. Some of them they're all exhaustible upon creation. She's got a regular damage and then 2 shield cards, I think they were. Let's see. Yeah, they're all exhausts. They've got synergies, and then we've got the Event Horizon card, which provides 1 action point, 1 draw, and increases the damage amount of the first hit of the next attack card used by 40%. I think this was dependent on which of the archetypal cards you've used, though, but I could be wrong. Mainly because I can't read the gibberish text that they've implemented for this. So then we get to the archetypes. We have got starting cards. Oh, it's heals. It's not shields. So we've got heal, and then we've got defense-based damage, which is going to be the first ever support that uses defense-based damage. I will not consider 9 a support, even though she's got the Vanguard class, because yes, she can shield, and yes, she does deal defense-based damage, but she's not really a support unit in the same sense, or much of a defense unit. You can make a defense build, but it's not the exact same as if you were to play Magna, for instance, or add Magna to your deck. or combatant squad. So then we've got a couple of the Epiphany cards. We've got Quantum Seed, heal 100%, create 2 new archetype cards in the draw pile, similar to Serennials, then draw one of those cards, so you've got a 50-50% chance to get each one of them. I'm curious to see if we'll have an Epiphany that allows us to draw both of those cards, or draw one of those cards that we so choose. Maybe one of them will be similar to Serennials as well, where the total amount of exhausts is increased. We've then got Form Convergence. Oh, that's a separate one. Yeah, we've got Form Convergence, which is retain, draw 2 archetype cards, then double a random effect of those cards for 1 turn, which is a 1 AP cost, which might be interesting, and we'll get to some of the archetypes later. We've got Creation and Destruction, which is 120% defense-based damage, 80% shield, 80% heal, Harmonization, double all effects, which is really good, actually. That is nuts. And as we were looking at some of the season cards, the One with All card requires that the card states that it deals damage, that it shields, and that it heals, which I think was made for Typheria. Because as we saw through some of the testing, or through some of the testing if you didn't see, if a card does not explicitly state that it heals, so if you use Ray's Heal by Damage, or her passive which heals for the first attack card used each turn, those don't count. Similarly, if you heal or create shield by damage, those don't count, so it has to be an explicit and separate effect on the card, which means that this is the only way that you can, with one card, trigger One with All. The next one is Dual Creation, which is a unique card, meaning that you can only have one of it in hand at a time. When 2 archetype cards are created, create 1 identical card in the discard pile, which seems to be an upgrade, so you're attempting to use as many archetypes as you can, though it's a little bit curious because it feels like you're going to end up in a situation with, or similar to, I forget what her name was, the girl that creates a whole bunch of those bullet discard cards, the Dirge bullets that upon discard do an extra attack. I think you're going to run into a similar situation here where you keep constantly drawing these cards over and over. Then you've got Event Horizon, which is yet another unique card, and I think this is the first character to have 2 unique cards. So, Form Upgrade, 0 of 3, 1 AP, 1 draw, increased damage amount of the first hit of the next attack card by 40%, and I think the O of 3 implies that you have to use 1 of each archetype card specifically, and then we've got the list of creation cards here. We've got Archetype Circle, or O, which is Exhaust, also all of them are 0 cost, which is Exhaust, 50% heal, and 1 AP. Then we've got Triangle, which is 50% shield, increased damage of the first hit of the next attack card by 30%, maximum 300%. I imagine because you're probably going to build up a whole bunch of these, and they didn't want to have the exact same Cassius scenario as last time, wherein you could gain an infinite amount of damage depending on the amount of attack cards you used. Because that was also an attack card, so you could use Sereniel to deal 0, generate a quest card, use that quest card to deal more damage, and have, I think at that point as well with Dice Trick, like a couple 1000%, so they really want to cap it off with this. Then we've got Archetype Square, Exhaust, heal 50%, draw 1 archetype card, so you're going to be able to draw into the rest of your deck, and I imagine that some of the Epiphanies are going to be drawing into yet more archetype cards, so you infinitely create them. But I think that's why they have this Epiphany, and I do think that they will never ever give you an Epiphany that for every 1 archetype card used, create 1 in the discard pile. They will never do that. I cannot see them doing that because that will create infinite loops. Question is, does she heal defense-based or attack-based? She does defense-based. It's listed up here, and I think it's going to be the same for the other cards. Yeah, defense-based damage here on Form Convergence, Creation, and Destruction, Or, oh, just creation and destruction. I can't really see the divider lines. So it's all defense-based damage. So she's a support. She's meant to be a controller, which means that she's going to have higher stats for her defense as well. But I don't think it's going to be as high as 9, who has a lot of defense-based damage. That's all of the info here. But we can kind of assume that with some of her epiphanies and based on some of the previous characters, she's probably going to work the same as Orlea and Cassius. I think, and this is a prediction of mine, she's going to heal, or she's going to deal more damage and more healing and more shields with epiphanies that increase her archetype cards. And she's going to have more epiphanies that allow her to draw into more of them. And I think we're going to see a couple of niches filled, mainly one which is having a whole bunch of creation cards just in general, because Orlea's main limitation right now is that she creates a limited amount of creation cards, whereas this one, or Typharia? What was it? Typhara is going to create a whole bunch of cards in the discard pile and the draw pile. So you're going to have to draw into those, and that means you're probably going to have a character that draws a whole bunch of them. She doesn't really work with Incineration, but she does work with Ignition, which is going to make the Flash Epiphany on 9 really strong. I mean, only the heals, though. Do the heals scale with her defense also, or do heal amounts scale with attack like it does with other healers? The healing only scales by... Actually, I don't know what the formula is. I think it's going to be the same thing here. I don't think it's going to change from scaling with attack. I would have to check, but I actually don't know what the formula is. Cesian healing formula. How is healing calculated? It's primarily dictated by the character's defense stat rather than HP, making defense and defense percentage highly valuable. Okay, so it seems that it's going to be the same as other characters where it focuses primarily on defense, and I think that's why she's a controller, because she's going to have higher defense and higher HP. So focusing instead on the defense stat is going to be better. You're probably not going to bother with any of the memory fragment sets which focus on 1-cost cards increasing healing by 20%, I think it was. And yeah, defense, yeah, exactly. I'm enunciating defense because you've got defense and defense with a C and an E, and defense with a C or a defense with an S. They're both different, sort of, kind of. Maybe. I over-enunciate as well. I'm born and raised on the internet. On these ley lines I peruse. As for her other epiphanies, we can skip these basic starting cards. Quantum Seed, I think, is going to be draw 2, or pick which one of those cards that you want to draw, or unless the implication here is that it's not random, because unlike other cards, it doesn't say draw one of those cards randomly like Yuki's does. Let me check, actually. Yuki, if we go here, draw 1 attack cards of this unit, is this one over here, as you can see in the top right. Thankfully, it was right in the top right so you could see it. Draw 1 attack cards of this unit. That is technically random, which means that this one is likely going to be random as well, but it's going to be a 50-50, aka a coin flip, if you're going to create or draw one of the created archetype cards. But I think what's going to happen is the epiphanies are going to be either create 3 archetype cards, or draw 2 of those cards, or we'll probably get some of the basic ones, like maybe increase morale for a turn, increase fortitude for a turn, increase resilience for a turn, etc. We might also get gain shield or something like that. I think what they're trying to do with this character is trying to make them malleable enough to go into some of the different niches of gaining health and shield and increasing the damage of the next card used, kind of like Orlea's. Then we've got Form Convergence, which is draw 2 archetype cards, then double a random effect of one of those cards for 1 turn. I think we're going to see an epiphany of select an archetype card and double its effectiveness. We might see draw 3 or 4 of the archetype cards, but no doubling. We might see a cost reduction to it as well, or we might see, again, some of the default ones like plus Fortitude or whatever. For Creation and Destruction, I think the epiphanies might be removing of the harmonization or increasing the cost and increasing the value and retaining harmonization. I think maybe a retain keyword would work on this as well, and maybe some of the default ones. Again, I'm having to back down onto the default kind of keywords, kind of buffs, because I'm not sure what direction this character is meant to take, because it kind of feels like she's taking Orlea's role and Mika's role, or at least some kind of card drawing role, since she's attempting to activate Flash in Nine's deck, or is attempting to activate Ignition cards, or is attempting to activate One with All, the new neutral card added in Season 2. Then we've got Dual Creation, which is when 2 archetype cards are created, create 1 identical card in the discard pile. I think we'll probably get an epiphany that is create 1 in the draw pile, create 1 in the discard pile. Either that, or it's create 1 random card in the discard pile, reduce the cost of this, or I feel like they might have to add a limit to this, because I could 100% see looping in this case with creating an archetype card from here and then drawing into it. I know that because this is 0, if they have something that moves into hand, that will definitely be used to create a loop. So maybe they're trying to limit and not allow you to have it be like 1, or draw an archetype card instead. So when an archetype card is used, draw another archetype card, maybe something like that. They want you to create as many exhaust cards as possible. Also, yet again, I'm going to question this image that they have here with Orlea and Typhira in the same party. I can just see your hand becoming massively overflowed with the amount of creation cards you have available to you. That seems a little bit nuts. And for the last one, we've got Event Horizon, Form Upgrade, 0/3, 1 AP, draw 1, increase damage amount of the first hit of the next attack card by 40. This one's not going to change. This is the Mythic card, I think it was called. Therefore, it won't get any changes done to it, so it's just going to stay at 2. Maybe for Memory Fragments, you want increase damage amount whenever your hand size is above a certain limit, exactly like Orlea, or you want, I think she was Order Controller, so maybe you increase the damage or the effectiveness of healing. I can see, however, that you probably want the set that increases defense. You probably want a lot more card draw with her so that you can get into the archetypes. Maybe you do Attack or Rally. Those are really good ones for controllers in general, but she seems overall pretty good. It feels like this +1 AP archetype card is very reminiscent of what Mika's deck is. And I think that's about it. I think that's most of what I wanted to go over. The new character and everything. So, what do you guys think? I think she's probably going to fill in a lot of niches. She's probably going to be a really good character, but to be honest, I'm not really sure if I want to roll for her. I'm really curious to see what the timey-wimey cat girl is going to be that was showing up at the end of Chapter 1. I'm more interested to find out what she does and what her deck is going to be like, because I feel that's probably going to be cooler. She could probably be a replacement to Mika, Typhira that is. She could probably be a replacement to Mika, but not heal nearly as much because she fulfills other, like, utility roles. I don't know, I don't have enough space for her in my team enough to roll for her. Yeah, I kind of feel that as well. I've got maybe 1 full spark if I fail the pity. If I don't fail the pity, then I've got enough for her and the cat girl. But I don't really want to try risk that, so I'm probably not going to go for her. We'll see. We'll see what her effectiveness plays out to be. She's yet another instinct user. Or was it order? I think it was order. I'm forgetting. Either way, we'll have to see. If her gameplay seems to be very interesting and her epiphanies are good, then maybe, I'll give her a chance of rolling for her. Otherwise, I can 100% see this being like Cassius's quest cards, and there's just going to be an enhanced version of the archetype cards. But we'll see. Maybe it won't be like that. Maybe it won't. Either way, let's see. Do I even have enough for another rescue? I'm at 9. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can I get any new roll, maybe? I could use one of these, but I'm trying to save up for an ego. I was thinking like, oh wow, wouldn't it be so much fun to do a 10 pull on stream? But I just don't have enough. I don't particularly want to. Okay. That brings us to the end of stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know that some of you may have joined a little bit closer to the end here, but I usually stream for about 2 hours every single day, and tomorrow I will be working on the compilation video of my Devil May Cry 3 playthrough, and I'm trying to split it up so that I have like a 1-minute short every single day or whatever that I can post. We'll see how much of that I actually managed to get done, because like, again, I'm kind of new to editing, and I'm kind of trying to find my groove with how I want to make the videos. These are all of my excuses, aka justifications, therefore you have to believe me as to why it's taking so long, but so be it. Either way, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend and a wonderful rest of your day. I will be seeing you on Monday. Tomorrow, I'm not streaming. Sundays are my new off days so that I can work on videos. Have a wonderful rest of your day. It was fun being able to stream. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.